Hello everyone, welcome back to the Netbeans e-commerce tutorial series. Today I will present Unit 6, Connecting Application to Database. The purpose for this series is to help my students to understand how to use Netbeans IDE to build an e-commerce application. All materials in this presentation come from netbeans.org website. The students can download the Troubleshooting project snapshot tool from the above website as the starting point for this unit of tutorial. The tasks we need to accomplish in this unit are the following. First, we will add sample data to the database. Then we will create a connection pool and a data source. Then we will test the connection pool and the data source. Then we will set context parameters. Then we will work with GSTL. GSTL stands for Java Server Pages Standard Tag Library. First task, adding sample data to the database. We will add 4 rows into category table. If you recall the requirement for this application, the store will sell food in 4 categories: dairy, meats, bakery, fruit, and veg. So to insert 4 rows into category table, we execute this MySQL command, insert into category name, value, dairy, meats, bakery, fruit, and veg. Please pay attention, category and name are not enclosed by single quotation marks. This notation is the key above tab key. And dairy, meats, bakery, fruit, and veg, they are enclosed in single quotation marks. Well, we don't have to put a category and a name in this notation. We will say, to select the data from the table, we will execute MySQL command select star from product. This means select all the records in product table. Let's do the first task, adding sample data to database. Open Netbeans e-commerce tutorial project at Troubleshooting. Click on the servers window. Then let's first check if your database server is running. Yes, it is running. Then make sure your database to the Troubleshooting is connected. So this is broken. So I connect it. First, I need to input mb user as password. So now this connection fixed. Okay. Then you expand it. Go to a Troubleshooting database. Expand the table. Let us right click on the category node and view the data. Now, if you view the data, he will execute the SQL command because we say select everything from category table. Now, you see there is nothing displayed because our category table currently is empty. Okay, so let us try to execute the following command. Insert into category. Remember I say we don't have to put down the category around this notation. You can put a category around this character. This character is the key above the tab key, but we don't have to. Let us don't do this. Just say insert into category, then the name, which is the column name. If you recall the category table, you only has 2 field attribute. One is ID, which is automatically increment. One is the name you need to give to it in order to create a record. So I insert 4 rows. So the value of the name include dairy. This is 1 row. Then I have meats. This is another row. Then I will have Berkeley, another row, make sure put in the single quote marks. Then fruit and veg. This is another row. Then semicolon. Okay. Now maybe I want to close this one so I can see the whole command. Insert into category the name, the record's name's value is dairy, meat, bakery, fruit, and veg. Now let's click on this run SQL. Okay. Now this is successfully 4 rows affected because we do have 4 rows. Okay. Now let us go back to check if these 4 rows are all in your category table. So let us select all records from category table. Then execute this command. Then you will see the result display. Yeah, we do have 4 rows in the category table. So we successfully insert the date to the category table. Next, I will do for the product table. Now, in order to do for the product table, we know each category has 4 products. So you totally need to create 16 insert statement. I will not do this one by one. Instead, I will copy from his tutorial website. Let's go to the tutorial website. Then there is a sample date here. Then I just copy everything. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Now, notice here, he put product name all in that notation. The character is above the table key. It's also okay. Let us run SQL statement. Then you say everything says success, and the execution finished, 0 error occurred. That means everything is fine. Now, let us erase all those, then begin to double check by use select everything from the product table. Okay. Then let's execute this statement. Okay. Now, if you look at this, you totally have 16 product. Okay. 16th product. Under the category ID, you have 4 from dairy, right? The first 4. Then 4 from meat, 4 for bakery, and 4 of them from fruit and veg. So we have successfully added all the sample data to database. Our second task of this unit of tutorial is to create a connection pool and a data source. The purpose is to establish connectivity between the MySQL database and the ForboBean application through the Glassfish server which it is deployed to. This communication, or we say this connectivity, is made possible with the JDBC API, that is Java Database Connectivity API. In the future, we will use SQL query tags to query the ForboBean database. When we do so, what happens is first the tags are translated into JDBC statements, then connector /j JDBC driver converts those statements into a MySQL specific protocol. So what is a connection pool? A connection pool basically contains a group of reusable connections for a particular database. The server maintains a pool of available connections to increase the performance. Why? The reason is when the server tries to create a new physical connection, it takes time. So in order to save time, the server maintains a pool of available connection first. When it is needed, the server just get a connection from the pool. So when application requests a connection, it obtains one from the pool. When application closes a connection, the connection is returned to the pool. So connection pool use a JDBC driver to create physical database connections. The second concept is a data source. A data source, always say a JDBC resource, provides applications with the meaning or means of the connecting to a database. Applications get a database connection from a connection pool by looking up a data source using the Java naming and the directory interface, which is JNDI, and then requesting a connection. The connection pool associated with the data source provides the connection for the application. Let's do our second task, creating connection pool and the data source. We press Command New, then in the category, I choose Glassfish Server, Glassfish, then I choose JDBC Resource. Click on Next. Make sure you choose Create New JDBC Connection Pool, and this JNDI name, choose a bin. Then the object type user, the enabled is true. Bin. Okay, create a new JDBC connection pool. Then click on Next. Additional property we really don't need. Click on Next. Then here, JDBC connection pool name. Let us name it called bin pool. And extract it from existing connection. Make sure you choose a bin one. Okay. Then we do not need anything else. Click on Next. For here, you need to make sure this is com.mysql jdbc .jdbc2.optional.mysql data source. Yes. Now, resource type, make sure you will choose javax.sql.connection pool data source. Pay attention, in your tutorial, this picture is wrong. On the tutorial, the resource type is javax.sql.data source on the picture screenshot. So you make sure yours is connection pool data source. Okay. Now we click on Next. For this specify optional property for connection pool, we really don't need any. We just click on Finish. Let's check what happened. Go to the project window. We expand this server resource. You will see there is a Glassfish resource.xml. This is different from your tutorials sun-resource.xml. We don't have sun-resources.xml here. Instead, we have Glassfish resources.xml. If you click on this file, you will see this exactly match what show up in your tutorial. You have a resources pair. In this pair, you define the JDBC resources. Enabled true. JNDI name is JDBC bin. Object type is user. Pool name is bin pool. This is exactly what we entered in that wizard. So we also have the JDBC connection pool. We say the property user is the root, password is MB user, and the URL value is this bins localhost colon 3306. This exactly is the one we choose when we went through the wizard. Okay. Now let us deploy this project to Glassfish server. So you right click on a Bean project load, then click on deploy. We need to wait for a while. Still going. Maybe I should deploy first. Okay, it's deployed. Now let us open servers. Now you can see a service window. You see the servers, glassfish. You have the application. You have resource. If you expand the resource, you expand the JDBC. Then you expand the JDBC resources. You will see JDBC Bean is here. Then if you expand the connection pools, you will see Bean pool is here. Our task 3 is to test the connection pool and the data source. We will build a test.gsp file to test the connection pool and the data source. In that file, we will use SQL tags and C tags. In order to use these two tags, we needed to add GSTL core and the SQL libraries to the top of the GSP file. The syntax will look like these two lines. To select all products and group them by category ID, we will use this MySQL statement, select star from category, product, where category.id equal product.category ID. If you recall, in the unit we designed data model, we said the relationship between the product and the category is that a product belongs to a category. So in product table, there is a column called category ID, which is foreign key refer to the category that this product belongs to. To assign the query result to a variable named result, we will use this SQL query tag, SQL column query, variable equal result, data source equal JDBC slash Bean. Now, this JDBC slash Bean is the data source we just built in previous step. So basically, the result, from this select star from category, product, where category ID equal product.category ID, from this query, all the result will be stored in this variable named result. To use this result to display all column names of the result table, we can use the following code. First, say this table is HTML table tag tr tag group a row of the table. In each row, we will do this. For each item in this result dot column names. Now, this is EL notation. This means result dot get column names, which will return your list. For each items in this list, we temporarily give him a name called column name, just like a variable name. Then we will print out this variable, his value. Here we use the GSP expression language, EL. We can utilize objects using dot notation and placing expression within EL delimiter. For this example, we did like result dot column names. This equivalent Java code result dot get column names. To display all rows of result table, we have to use nested loop. So outside loop will go through each row in the table. Then inside the loop will go through each column in one row. So again, this table tag, then we have tr tag group the elements in a row. Then we have td tag group the elements in a column. So for each row in this result.rows by index, this equivalent result.get rows by index, which will return your list of rows. For every element in this list, we assign a name called row. So row is a variable pointer to an element in this list. The element in this list is a row. So then for every element in this row, which is a column, then we print out this column's value. So in this code will display all rows of the result table. Let's do task 3, testing the connection pool and the data source. In this task, we will do the following 3 subtasks. First, pin the connection pool, then creating a resource reference to the data source, then querying the database from a GSP page. So let's start the first subtask, pin the connection pool. Before do this, ensure your Glassfish server is already run. So if you go to the services window, expand this, now you see the Glassfish server need to have a green triangle, but we don't have it. So I need to start this Glassfish server. Now after you start it, it seems like mine is still not started yet, right? Okay, now it's start. Okay, then right click server load to choose view the admin console. So I will right click and choose view domain admin console. Okay. Now it seems like I do not need to log in, but your tutorial say the default username password is admin. That the username password is admin. I believe I already logged in here. In the console tree on the left, we expand the resource, which is here, and the JDBC, which is here, then connection pool, JDBC connection pool node. Then we click a football bin pool. Okay. Now in the main window, we added the connection pool interface displays the selected connection pool. Okay, we already added the JIT connection pool. I believe we got everything is okay. Is okay. Now we need to click on this pin success. That means our pin the connection pool, this subtask finishes successfully. Now, then I need to create a resource reference to the data source. In the project window, let's go back to Netbeans IDE, go to the project window, expand the configuration file folder and double click the web.xml. Okay. A graphic user interface will show up. You see here, you have all those buttons to push. It's a graphic user interface. Okay, click on the reference table, the table. We will see here, and locate the table, expand the resource reference heading, which is here. We already expanded. Then I want to add a resource reference. Then this dialog show up. Okay. Now into the following, will resource name we know is JDBC football bin. Okay. Now pay attention. Resource type. Make sure you will choose. Oh, he done the have. They want for us to choose. We supposed to choose Java X.SQL connection pool data source, but he has no connection pool data source for us to choose. Well, in that case, we have to change it later manually. I will come to that point. the authenticate container, share score, all those others. We got it. Then we click on OK. Now, then we click on to verify this. Now we click on this source. We click on this source tab. Okay, you will see we have here is javax.sql. We need connection pool data source. If we don't put a connection pool there, you will have a bug. Connection pool data source. I don't know. This seems like a Netbeans IDE have either something I missed or there is a bug there, because we just say in these references when we choose add, there is no. In here we do not have connection pool data source for us to choose. However, after you manually change it, it becomes javax.sql connection pool data source, because I manually type in connection pool data source here. Okay? So now let's do the third subtask, querying a database from a GSP page. First, I need to create a new GSP page. I can use command new, then I choose web, then choose GSP, then I click on next. Okay. Now the file name, we call it test data source .gsp. I do not need to specify .gsp. The IDE will automatically add .gsp extension for me, and make sure the folder field, I want the folder called test. I want to build a folder called test. Okay. Then I click on finish. Okay, I don't want this. Now, if you notice, under web pages folder, there is a new folder created called test. Then there is a test data source.gsp. Okay. Now, in this place, when we want to insert the code so that it can query the database and display the result table here. So in this case, I will do this thing. Right click. No. Sorry. Right click. Then I will see code. Wait a moment. I need to do the control space. Okay. Control space. Then I will choose DB report. Then I will specify the variable name called result, and the scope is page data source JDBC formal bin. And the code we just said will be select star from, we have two table category, product, where category ID equal product dot category dash ID. Okay. Now here is understandable. Is product, his attribute category dash ID should equal than the category his attribute ID. Click OK. Now you say he automatically insert all this code for you. That is cool. automatically insert this code for you. Also, this two line of code will, in order to use C tag and SQL tag, you need to add these two line of code. Okay, also automatically add it for you. However, there is something not really good. You see this code table not match all this line. If you right click it, you click on format, now you see everything line up very nicely. Very nicely. Okay. Before we run the file in the browser, make sure we have enabled JDBC drive deployment option in Netbeans Glassfish support. Choose tool. We choose tool under the servers to open the servers window. Then we will say the server type is Glassfish Server 4.1. I want enable JDBC drive deployment, and we want a preserve session across redeployment. I have all those done, right? So then I right click on this file, then choose run the file. Okay, so we successfully finish this task. Task 4 is setting context parameter. To set up context parameters, we need to do following two things. First, listing parameter names and values in the web deployment descriptor. Second, calling the parameters in GSP pages using initial parameter object. The benefit to use context parameters are following. First, enable the application-wide to access to parameter values. Second, to change parameter values from a single location. For example, for each product, name its image file as the same name of the product in database table. For example, broccoli PNG, that's the image file name. Then in product table, this vegetable is also called broccoli. So exactly have the same name. Suppose the image file is in folder web page /image/ product, then add a context parameter product image path associated with the value image/product. To access the broccoli.png file, we only need to use this code. If you pay attention, this code is independent from the product's name, broccoli. This is good because based on different situation, we need to display different products image. So of course, we need a code that independent from the product's name. Let's do the task 4, setting context parameter. First, we need to download web sample images and unzip the file. Let us go to the website, which is tutorial website. We try to download the image. I believe we should have someplace somewhere else. Yeah, website image is here. Okay, now you click on it. They ask you if you want to save the file. You say OK. Save it. Then in my case will be in download. Then I unzip it. Okay, it's unzip it to this image. It's here. Now, then I right click it. Then copy this image. Then I go to my project. I go to click on this web page. Then I use Control V, Command V in my paste. Now the image folder is pasted here. Then if you look at it, all these image files is here. Now you see you have product subfolder, you have category subfolder. Okay, so after this, then we begin to add those according to the second thing. The first thing we wanted to do, we want listing parameter name and values in the web deployment descriptor. So what I'm going to do is, let me make this or go back. Then I need to go to the configuration file. Then double click on this web.xml. Let's close here, make it bigger. In this general, okay, I want to expand this. Let's put this back. So expand this context parameters. I click on add context parameter. So one of the parameter name, I will call it a product image path. Product image path. That's his name. His value is image slash products. Now, if you look at here, probably I need to click on OK. This is, you can call relative path to product images. Then click on OK. Now you want to double check. You look at here. This is the folder is products. So you want the image products. Yeah. And the parameter name is product image path. Then you add the second one with the name called category image path. And his value is image categories. Now they need to match this subfolder's name. Okay, then you can say this is relative path to category images. Then you click on OK. Now, if you click on this source, you will see this context parameter, which is here. You have context parameter, okay, relative path to the product image, this image, the value, another context parameter, or automatically added. Because if without those IDE functionality, you need to manually code all those things. But with the IDE, you can do it through the graphic user interface, just fill in some information, then the code automatically generated. Again, this one benefit for use IDE. Now, I want to test if this thing really work well. So in this case, let us test the index page. So I will click on the index JSP. Okay, then remember in the left column is welcome text. Then I want to add some code here. I say test to access context parameter. Now, if I type command slash, will automatically make this become commands. Okay. Now, then I say category image path. This will just display as it is. But now I want to use this EL to access initial param. I just hit indicate dot category image path. Okay, I want to access this. Then I say product image path. This, then I use this EL to init parameter dot product image path. Now I expect when I run the program, this initial parameter dot category image path supposed to return me image slash categories. This is supposed to return me image slash product. Let's run the project, see what happened. Need to patiently wait for this Glassfish restart and the project deployed. I probably will not edit the video to cut this part off. It's too much work. I will not cut the waiting time off. Okay? You just think this is a relaxed time. Wait for the result. Okay, now you say the result exactly as we expected because we already set up that context parameter. His value is image slash categories, another is image slash product. So everything work fine. We finish the task 4. Let's do our last task, working with GSTL. So far, in this tutorial unit, we have established how to access data from the Bin database, add image resource to the project, and have set up several context parameters. In this final task, we will combine these achievements to plug the product and category images into application. In order to do so effectively, we need to begin taking advantage of the Java Server Pages standard tag library. Let us start from index page. Double click on index.jsp. Yeah, we already in its editor. Now, if you notice before, you have 4 category box display the 4 categories. Now we want to add 4 images to this, and we don't want to repeat to write code like this. We might want to use a loop to do so. So first, what we need to do is press our mouse here. We can type db, then you control space, then he will tell you db query. We want a db query. We want a variable name called category, maybe called categories, and the data source is JDBC Bin. Okay, and the query statement is select everything from category table. Okay, then I click on OK. Now, if you pay attention, this SQL query tag automatically insert here, and this required import also inserted here. Okay. Basically, this says you select all the records from category and assign from this data source and assign the result to the variable called categories. Okay. Now, from here, if I type JSTL, then control space, then he will say GSTL for each. I want to double click GSTL for each. Then the correction will be all the rows from the categories. For each element in this row, when the current item of the iteration, I call it a category, then I click on OK. Now you say for each element in this category start rows result, this category start get rows, right? It's a list of all rows. I step through each element in the list equivalent. We step through each row. Okay. For each row, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the following thing. For each row, I have a division, the section. His class name is category box. Okay, the style we started before. Then I make equal category. Then I got the category ID dot ID. Spin class equal category label text. Then this will be category dot name. Then I will have image. The source will equal image program dot param dot category image pass. Oh, the reason I did a wrong is because I forgot this. Let's do this. Probably it's more safe. You type this. Now you say you can hit the enter key. Okay. Category image pass. Then category dot name dot jpg. Now, if this source link is not right, oh, I think I had made a mistake again, because I should everything inside this double quotation marks. So I'm supposed to put it here. Okay, so this category dot name. Okay, then dot jpg. All this is the image file name should be in this double quotation marks. Okay, if this image file cannot be found, then automatically should display the categories dot name. That is what we're supposed to have. Now, for this case, I can delete all those old code I don't need. Now, let us double examine the code. So, first, I query the JDBC F4 bin data source. I select all the records from category table. I assign the result to the categories, the variable name called categories. Then, for each element in the categories.row, well, categories.row requirement means categories.getRows. This return you a list of rows. Then for each element in the list, for each row, what I'm going to do, requirement for each category. Then I will display the category's name plus his image. Image file are accessed by use initial parameter dot category image path we set before, then file name. Okay, let us run our program. Oh, the image not show up. We have something wrong. The image not show up only shows category name. Equivalent say this file path is not correct. If we go double check our configuration file web. Now, notice we miss this slash after the product. So you can edit it, add the slash after the product, then edit this, add the slash after the category. Okay, then I run the program again. Before we continue working with GSTL, let's understand this line of code first. What does this line of code do? When user click the image link in the browser, a request for the category is sent to the application context root on the server, which is this part. URL will be http://localhost 8080 bin category. The path to the request is category. The controller servlet will internally forward the request to /web-info/view/category.jsp. The question mark here and the category ID, because these are appended to the request URL. This forms the query string. We can extract the value of the query string from the request by using this code: page context dot request dot query string. So query string will be this category ID. If we click on one category, image, for example, Berkeley, we know this category ID is 3. If you click on it, it will bring you to the category page with query string 3 attached to it, just like we explained a moment ago. Now, if you look at this category page, we notice there are 3 aspects of the category page need to be handled dynamically. First, the left column must indicate which category is selected. Then, the table heading must also display the name of selected category, and the table must list product details pertaining to the selected category. In order to implement this aspect using GSTL, we must follow a simple 2-step pattern. First, retrieve data from the database using the GSTL SQL tag library. Second, display the data using GSTL core library and EL syntax. We repeat these 2 simple steps 3 times to finish deal with the left column, the table heading, and the table. Let us start from the left column. Let us click on category page. So remember, take advantage of GSTL. So I type DB, control space, then you will see we choose DB query. The variable name, I want to call it categories, and the data source JDBC /affordable bin, and the query statement, I want to select all all records from category table. So I click on OK. Now notice the query statement is here, and this also added to the top of the file. Now I want to rewrite this part. Let's delete. I want to display the left column for category based on if this category is a selected category or not. So for each of this category button, I will display them differently. So I first use C for each. So GSTL control space. I want for each of them, the collection is from categories dot rows dot collection. For current item of the iteration, I will call it a category. Okay, I click OK. Now for each of those category, I need to display them based on if this category is a selected category. So I need to make a choice. So I use GSTL control space. I need to use choose. When I choose, I need to have one condition. The condition is check if this category his ID equals selected category ID. So I have one condition. Now the condition test is when this category his ID equals page context dot request dot query string. If this equal, then I will display this is as selected category. Class equal category button, ID equal selected category, and span class equal category text, then I will display category name here. Name. Okay. Now, then for otherwise part, which is when the condition is not true, or we can say this is not selected category, I'm going to make it a link because I need to be able to press it to navigate to the category page, display this category's information. So again, I will use the category, question mark, then category dot ID, just like before, then class equal category button. Now in this link, this whole thing is a link. So div class equal category text, and I need to display category name. Be careful, if you make any mistake, it doesn't work, then we need to come back to correct it. I hope that not happen. So before we move forward, double check. Okay, since those code are created by the wizard, so you just need to check if you name these variables correctly or not. Particularly this one, JDBC football bean. Okay, the select stuff from the category, everything is okay. Then I have for each. Then for each I have choose. Choose I have condition win, see otherwise. Win is the category .id equal page context request query string. If that means the query string is the ID you appended to this request. If this equivalency, this category's ID equals selected category ID, then you will display its name in the selected category style. Otherwise, you will display it as a link. This link will link back to the category page, append this category's ID, which is when people press on this category button. Okay, then you will display his category name. It seems like everything is okay. Let's run the project, redeploy. Then click on, let's choose fruit and veg. Okay, you say fruit and veg is chosen. Okay, then let's choose meat. Now you say that meat is chosen. Okay, then choose dairy. Yeah, it seems like everything is okay. Now let's handle the table heading. Again, I first type, press my mouse here, cursor here, and type db, control space, choose db query. Then this time the variable name called selected category, and data source again is JDBC. I have football bean, and this time I will select name from category table where ID equal, well, this ID I need to specify it, so I just input like this first. Now you see you have this thing. Now I want to specify the ID by this SQL param is value equal page context dot request dot query string. Okay, so Then I want to change something here because this is the title. This title, what I really want to display, I want to display selected category, his name. So remember, selected category actually is a list, but this list I only have one element inside, which is the element his ID match this selected category ID. So since I only have one element, so here is what I'm going to do. I say selected category dot rows 0, since rows, then dot name. Okay. Since you only have one item in this selected category, selected category is a result from this query statement. Return you a list of rows, but here actually I only have one row inside, so which is rows index 0. Okay, now let's run the program. Let's dairy, yeah, it seems like okay. Berkeley, yes, great. Our last step is to display product details within the table. This time I want to use a little bit trick. I will not completely, I will use the older code to help me make it a little bit easier. So again, first I want to have a query first. So the query, what I'm going to do, I type db control space db query. This time the variable name I want to call it a category products. Category products, and the data source is JDBC Fobo bin, and the statement is I want to select all the things from product table where his category ID equal question mark. This question mark I need to specify. Again, this question mark I need to specify is same thing. Here, I just copy. If you think about this, it's straightforward. I select everything, all the records from product table where this product, his category ID equal this selected category's ID. Okay, and I assign the result to the category products variable. Okay, then go down from the right column table under below here. Now I don't want to repeat to write all those code. So what I'm going to do is actually I want to get into the table so I can use his table. I want to write that here. Okay, so I first did it for each. So I use GSTL control space. I want for each. For each, the correction will be the category products dot rows. Okay, then current item for the iteration, let's just call it product. Then I click on OK. Okay. Now, for each of those table, then I need to do this. I copy one of these, put in. Maybe I can copy one, put in this for each. For each of these, I have one row. Then now I can delete the rest. Don't delete the slash table. Okay, this is my code to start with. Okay. Now Notice for each of the product, which is one row of this table, what I'm going to do, I probably say this row class equal no, I need to have this delete. Okay. Then I will have this again. It's a little bit complicated. I have again. Then this iter dot index %2 equal 0. If this equals 0 is true or not. If it's true, one is light blue. If it's not true, then will be white. Now, basically, this part is you take a turn. Let me add one more thing here. Otherwise, you don't know where is iter come from. Okay, the iter come from here. Variable status equal iter. Okay, the variable status assign this variable name called iter. Now, iter dot index %2 equals 0 is true. You use style class equal light blue. Otherwise, use white. Basically, this make your display this table. One line is light blue, another line is white, then another line is light blue. So then I really don't need this anymore. All this light blue things I don't need. Okay. Well, I don't know this really saves some time or not, but I probably would like to do this way. Okay. Light blue, get rid of. Now, here is the row I take care. Now for each column, first for this image, his source. Now the image source will equal, we already know how to deal with this one, with initial prime dot product image path, right? Then we'll have product dot name, then the image. Okay. Otherwise, I will automatically display the product name. That's for the image part. Okay. The second, here need to display the product name. Product name below, we will just display as product dot name. Not sure if this is any faster. Probably it's faster to do this way. Then here, I will just type product dot description. Okay. Then this price, I probably will type euro, then type this product dot price per unit. Then table form action. This action will equal add to cart. Method equal post. Input type Now I will have one more type called hiding, which is product ID need to be forwarded to it. So I add one more input type equal hiding, name equal product ID, value equal product.id. Okay. Then this type submit is called purchase button. The value equal add to the cart. Okay, let us double check one more time. So I have a table, right? Well, then I have C for each. I have this table. Probably I want to make this go inside a little bit. Maybe this is better. Okay, so table ID, product table. Then for each product in the category, I will display it by one row in the table. In this table row, I want based on the either his index is even or odd, display this row with the class style either light blue or white. Okay. Then for each row, I have all those columns. Now for the first column, I display the image of the product. Then I will use initial parameter to get the product image path and the product name. But this product name is from this query result because the variable name is product. Okay, from the category products rows, each row assign called product. So one row is one product. It has name. Then we miss something here because you need to put a JPG, I believe. Yeah, product is JPG. Let us double check. We don't want to make any mistake. Product is PNG. Almost got it wrong, so we need to make it PNG. Okay. So then product name. Seems like everything okay. Let us try. If something wrong, we come back. Okay. Let's click on here. Yeah, milk. Oh, we don't have this button display. Everything else is fine. The button part is not right. So we need to go here to check, see what's going on here. Okay. So in the form, the action, we have a TD, right? Then we have a form. Action equal add to card. Method equal post. Input type equal hiding. Name equal product ID. Value is product ID. Then input type equal submit. Value equal add to cart. I don't see anything wrong why it is not displayed. Oh, here. I missed close. Okay. Now, seems like very easy to make mistake. Now let us rerun again. Click. Okay. Now everything is fine. Acknowledgement. This is the end of Unit 6. The next unit is Unit 7, adding entity classes and session beans. Again, all materials of this presentation come from Netbeans.org website. If you have any questions, please give me an email. See you next time.